the father of genetics. We are going to talk about Gregor Mendel and his laws. Well, Gregor Mendel was born in 1822 and he was a naturalist monk that made a great advance in the genetic studies. He made P6 crosses which were particularized by living different styles, and his job was not evaluable until 1900, 35 years after the publication of his laws. He died in 1884.
His studies. He started to experiment in the botanic garden of his monastery in 1856. He used pea plants in order to know how traits were passed from one generation to another. At that time, people thought that if two living things with different traits were crossed, the new offspring would be a mix of both traits. For example, if a red and a white flower were crossed, the new flower would be pink. To start experimenting, he chose 7 traits of peas, and after self-pollinating them, he discovered that each trait had 2 forms. For example, the flowers would be purple or white. He also named the ones who always maintain one form after generations pure breeding.
Law 1, also known as law of dominance. This law states, in a cross of parents that are pure for contrasting traits, only one form of the trait will appear in the next generation. Offspring that are hybrid for a trait will have only the dominant trait in the phenotype. Mendel observed certain traits in pea plants. These traits had only 2 forms, for example, either purple or white color. When he bred 2 purebred plants, one purple and one white, the offspring from this first filial generation had purple color because it was dominant. The white color was recessive and therefore hidden.
Law 2. Principle of segregation. During reproduction, the factors are divided into reproductive cells in meiosis and then reunited. Mendel proposed that during reproduction, the cells must divide into reproductive cells. He discovered that hybrid cells that self-pollinated were different to their parents. Separation occurred when the allele segregates into reproductive cells.
Third law, the law of independent assortment. In this law there were different plants with different traits. Some of them were yellow and smooth and others green and wrinkled. The union of gametes produced a generation of plants with big A, small a, big B, small b, genotype, and yellow and smooth as phenotype. This was the first generation. In the second generation there were 4 different phenotypes that were 9 yellow and smooth, 3 yellow and wrinkled, 3 green and smooth, and 1 green and wrinkled. The conclusion of this law is that alleles for different traits are inherited independently and are randomly combined. Exceptions of the laws. The independent assortment does not apply if genes are linked with chromosomes, and alleles aren't only like dominant or recessive, but can also be codominant.